Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we're actually, as you saw with the title, we are going to be reviewing a haul. This haul is actually from Europe. My mother-in-law came back from Europe, was in London as well as Barcelona, and was able to grab me 5 fragrances, one of which is for my birthday in July. The other 4 are for me to choose which one I dislike the most, and then give that to Grandpa. But what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do not really first impressions, because I sprayed these right after I got them, but kind of a revisit of what each one is and what it's all about and what I get from it, and you know, if you should buy it. It's my opinion. If you already like these, then that's great. If you don't, then you know what? You might have just learned something new, and we're gonna get started. All right, first one we're going to talk about today is a fragrance that is well known in the cheapy community. That is from Versace. That's Versace Blue Jeans. Versace Blue Jeans has been around since the 90s. I want to say this was 1995, I believe. And this is a blue fragrance, very fresh, very lemony up top. This is got some dryer sheet facets to it, so it's got an easy grab wearability. Where my concern is, it smells great. On the atomizer, it smells amazing. It smells great in general, but my concern would be the top notes. After you spray it, is very, very harsh. Has this Club de Nuit harsh lemon situation. Light florals, heavy on the lemon, some woods, drier sheet facets. I think it smells great. From what I know and what I've heard, this is a beast mode fragrance for the 90s. It's pretty cool, right? So, it's Versace Blue Jeans. Would I wear it? Yeah, I would. Would I recommend it? I would. I mean, if it's 10 to 20, not $10, excuse me. It's $20 to $30 usually at a discounter like TJ Maxx, Marshalls. You'll usually find it there. And most of the time, the full presentation. So, definitely try it. I think you should. All right, next up, we've got one that I already took the box and threw it away. So, there's that. This one surprised me. I've actually never owned anything by the house of Burberry. I've never owned a single fragrance from Burberry. I've heard good things, but I've heard also that they are a little weaker fragrances. I mean, most of them are eau de toilette, so they're bright, but they don't perform. I don't mind performance. Realistically, as I'm getting older now, if it performs well, that's great. But because I no longer work in a bank environment, I kind of do my own thing. I don't really need to worry about longevity. If it smells good, I'm gonna wear it, and that's what I get from this one right here. This is gonna be Burberry Weekend. And what I get from this fragrance is I get a Neroli Portofino from Tom Ford vibe. I get a very bright citrus top note, almost like sunscreen, but instead of that Neroli, it's actually just a ton of citrus and lemon. Citrus bomb. Very, very close. That's what I'm getting from this, is a very, very close smell to Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino, which is a very bright, citrusy suntan lotion fragrance that is amazing for the high heat, amazing for by the poolside, down to the beach. It's a beautiful bottle, but I'm getting that from this. I'm getting a lot of that from this. Not the greatest atomizer. I get some green undertones, a lot of citrus, and yeah, a lemon that kind of takes over versus where the Neroli would have been with the Tom Ford. That's good. That's really good. Eau de toilette concentration, nice and bright. Bottle's very simple, very crisp, very clean. So let's go ahead and move forward. That would be Burberry Weekend. Hey guys, next up we've got a fragrance here that I believe is going to end up being the one that I give to Grandpa. A Versace fragrance from I want to say, I think it's 1984. Excuse me one second, too. Yeah, 1995 for blue jeans. 1997, I believe, for Burberry Weekend. And this one is 1984. So when you drop into the 90s is one thing, but when you drop into the 80s, you have a whole different realm of fragrance. You have, from what I've gathered, very soapy, florally woody vibes that are very old school. And when I say old school, the one thing that comes to my mind is, you know, grandpa. You smell like grandpa. People say you smell like grandma, like potpourri. Grandpas smell like this. Very barbershop, very fougere barbershop with shaving cream. Shaving cream, very much the 80s. Versace L'Homme. The bottle's been the same since the OG. Atomizer on top right here. The side of the bottle are palm leaves, and it's actually frosted in that certain area. Let's spray it and remind ourselves what this is all about. Atomizer blows out a ton. Aftershave. Yeah. So, damn. Bright and citrusy, but it just smells like soap. Like an old school 80s bar of soap. Probably got a huge following behind it. But for me, it's just not for me. This would not be something I reach for at all. I imagine my wife would be repulsed by this. I'm probably 40, 50, 60, 70 years old reaching for this fragrance. And that's okay. It's not youthful. It's not sweet. That's who I'm thinking of is going to rock this right here. And that is Versace L'Homme. Worth a buy, maybe for your dad for Father's Day, maybe for Grandpa for Father's Day. It's different. Moving on. This one surprised me. I've actually seen this in the fragrance community a few times, and I've almost purchased it one other time. We are talking about PACO RABANNE. Let's get a look at that bottle real quick. That is a metal canister with a plastic silver base of the atomizer and then a black plastic atomizer. This is how it comes out of the canister. So what I got was this exact presentation. It comes in this canister and it looks like that. This one took me a minute to get used to as far as what it smells like. This came out, PACO came out, I want to say in 86 or 94? Somewhere in that realm. Pretty damn good atomizer, if I will say so myself. So for this, I get not so bright, a little darker on the florals. Definitely unisex. I can see this being worn by both men or women. Once the alcohol dissipates, I get a smell that's a very dryer sheet, cleanliness, fresh linen, but it also has something going for it that's very similar to Creed's Millésime Imperial. Some bergamot, light woods in the base, some musk and patchouli, very light on the green facets, nothing too crazy. This is an easy reach, I'll be honest with you. This is a very easy reach fragrance. You could probably wear this before bed. You could probably wear this if you're not sure about what to wear that day. You don't want to involve too many smells. Not going to beast mode on your skin. This is actually pretty good for what year it came out. It's because it's an eau de toilette, blast of alcohol. But once that cools off, it's nice, you guys. It's got a little bit of a lavender situation going on in there, so it's nothing too wild. It's bright. Definitely worth a buy. I'm not sure retail on this one, but I can't imagine it's much more than 40 or 50 bucks at the very most. It has been around for a long, long time. The next one we're about to do is the one that was given to me for my birthday, and I'm the most excited about because I've never actually tried this house. The brand we are talking about today is PENHALLIGANS. I know it's very popular in the UK. ENDYMION. ENDYMION. Endy. ENDYMION. So kind of a pretty box. Kind of gives it justice on what the fragrance is. It's got like a moon up top. It's very dark blue. I will say this is one of the most beautiful bottles I have in my collection. Beautiful clear glass, blue bow tie, a nice beautiful sticker up front. It's blue and silver. The juice is clear. The glass is very heavy duty. This thing is a beast of weight. So let's get a spray going. Let's remind myself of what we got going on here. And despite the fact, or including the fact that this was a gift from my mother-in-law to me for my birthday, which is super, I mean, absolutely the sweetest thing. She knows I love fragrance. She knows I appreciate fragrances. PENHALLIGANS is a niche brand. I believe it says, yeah, 1870. PENHALLIGANS has been around since 1870. So you're looking at over 150 years of fragrance perfumery. This is one I've actually never seen before. So besides the rest of the ones I've never seen before, seeing a niche fragrance for the first time I've never smelled before really intrigued me. And oh my God, is this fragrance good. This is, to me, when I think of this, is a dark blue fragrance. Blue, soapy, sophisticated, spicy, vanilla at the base, woods at the base. It's not really one that I could see young kids wearing. Can't see a young kid, a young guy reaching for this. This is probably 30, 40, 50 plus. I really, really enjoy it. And I will be completely transparent. I have worn this twice since getting this bottle. One spray on the back of my neck the first day one on my hand the first day I got it. And then one a couple nights ago in the back of my neck. I will say something too that I was very surprised by, an eau de cologne, which means the concentration of perfume oil is, I believe, it's like 5 to 10% is an eau de cologne. I believe 5, really. I believe 5 is really like the sweet spot. This thing was pushing. And when I say pushing, I mean actually pushing off my skin really, really well. I heated up. It was right there with me. It projected when it heated up. A few hours later, I wore it on my hand to Home Depot looking for some shrubs and some weekend shopping with my wife. And this really was good stuff. But the dry down, oh my God, the dry down of this fragrance, you gotta be kidding. ENDYMION. Hopefully I'm saying it right. ENDYMION. One word. One more time. Come on. I'm going for the hand, guys. Spicy. It's got, of course, I'm smelling mostly alcohol. It's very wet on my hand. But I can see most people wearing this towards the evening. Pushes really well. It dries down really well. Very, like I said, very vanilla. It's like a vanilla spice at the very end. It opens up great. It's bright. I think it's bright and blue. I think it's a great reach. I'm not going to lie. I've never tried PENHALLIGANS before. And when I opened the bottle up, I was like, wow, what kind of fragrance is this? Like, this looks very fancy. And I see that it's PENHALLIGANS. And I'm like, oh my God, that's great. And I start looking at it and I spray myself immediately. And I'm like, immediately fall in love with it. I'm going to reach for this probably over a lot of designer fragrances. The alcohol has subsided, burned off, if you would, leaving you with a nice blue, lightly spicy, little bit of bergamot on top, nothing crazy. A lot of woods and a vanilla base. A lot of woods. That was the fragrance haul from Europe, UK, Barcelona. In fact, I believe most of these were bought in the Regia, Barcelona. So, awesome. Brought the bag back too. Again, thank you. Like the video, comment below, subscribe if you haven't yet. I definitely invite you to subscribe. I give honest feedback and content about fragrances. Thanks for riding with me. Let's do it together. 2023, let's finish strong. So, thank you so much. Talk to you soon.